Hello everybody, it's your boy WEEZYFMAMBA and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys once again so much for being here. We really appreciate it. On today's video, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got some brand new news coming out of Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival, the brand new survival horror game based off the beloved horror film franchise Hellraiser, brought to you by Saber Interactive and Boss Team Games. Today, we had a brand new video posted to gamesreactor.eu, which is a insert from Gamescom, and they are going into detail with some awesome questions by an interviewer with assistant game directors Alexandra Pelavonic and Shadan Nadik. I'm hoping that I at least get those correct. I'm so sorry if I didn't, but it's a great little 10-minute interview. We're going to go ahead and watch it here. They're going to go into detail on some things, and there are some really awesome details here about the lore and the timeline, which a lot of people have been, when does it take place, etc., etc. So let's get right to it. Let's not waste any more time. Just going to give you guys some new news. New news, baby. Okay. There's a full article. I think it's literally just a transcript of the interview in text form, but we're gonna watch it because I don't want to read it. All right, let's get to it right now. Come on, lock in, turn it up. Bang, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. New Hellraiser news.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex, I'm here with Game Reactor. It's probably best you don't see me, I'm a quivering mess because I've just been playing Hellraiser. It is, as they say, it is excellently horror, it's gory, it's everything that you could probably want from a Hellraiser game, and that's coming from someone who doesn't even know Hellraiser. I feel like, from my lack of experience, this is perfectly Hellraiser. How did you guys sort of go into initially approaching this game, and what made you decide on taking on this sort of iconic horror franchise in a video game format?
So we knew that we want to make a horror game, and we had a lot of fans of the Hellraiser franchise in the studio, and kind of things fell together, and we're here now. So it's kind of amazing experience, and we're really happy that we got to make it.
Real quick pause. Those Saber shirts are fucking fire, dude. Let me get one.
I just want to add that I believe that the franchise has such meaningful messages behind all of it, and it was absolute pleasure for us to take up on the role to try and portray that in the game.
Something I like about this game is that you guys didn't just go down the sort of typical survival horror route. There's a lot of different elements going into it. Could you maybe describe sort of what players will be getting into? I think I got into a good chunk of it there, but I think there's still a lot that's left to be going. So could you talk a bit about how it blends like action, survival horror?
Yes, so we kind of have a unique mix and blend of survival horror, like where you get the resources, where you need to manage them, inventory management, stuff like that. You have different types of combat. You have range combat, you have melee combat, you can get abilities with the configuration over time. So we really give the players a freedom to kind of tailor their experience through the game. Like, do they want to stealth through everything? Do they want to fight everything? Like, it's up to them.
Absolutely banger right there. First off, great shot of Doug. What up, Doug? Yay. Anyways, right there, let's break that down, ladies and gentlemen. Our first kind of reveal of obvious that we knew that we were going to have melee and ranged combat just from the leaks about the guns and the melee weapons that we have seen in the trailer. However, what they mentioned was a mixture of stealth as well as going all in. You know, it still brings that style of like Hitman, where you can literally just do that. It's going to be a full immersive campaign, not like Hitman style missions, but it's going to be linear, but it's going to be something so off the wall. Okay, that's just my theory behind it. Let's go ahead and continue here.
I just wanted to add that we have also boss type encounters in the game, and the player get the chance to choose between, as Regin mentioned, if they want to do stealth encounter or approach it actionally.
So for someone like me who's entirely new to the franchise, how do you guys see this as an introduction versus how do you also balance that with there's going to be a lot of people who know and love Hellraiser who want to sort of tread familiar waters in that same sense?
So the game is set 20 years after the original franchise. It's canon.
Oh, set 20 years after the original, and it is canon. Absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. We got some lore confirmation for all you nerds out there that wanted to know. Ladies and gentlemen, canon 20 years later. Let's go.
And for fans of the franchise, they're gonna find a lot of things that they're gonna recognize immediately. And as for new fans, we kind of take it slowly at the start to kind of introduce you with everything. It's a bit slower pace, but once things get going, it just, like crazy action and horror and experience, and after that everything goes like.
It's a completely new story within the Hellraiser universe, but they can encounter a lot of elements that are recognizable from the movies, like Pinhead and his gash, and there is also a configuration and a Leviathan, a Labyrinth. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff.
I got to.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff.
Well, I don't know what the hell is going on with the video. Sorry about that.
Labyrinth. I think I'm all right to say that. While getting chased down. We did see the Cenobites there. We have seen them a lot. They are obviously sort of like the poster boys of the franchise, especially Pinhead. How involved will they be, and how much can players expect to sort of interact with them while also keeping this mythos around them alive?
So they're integral part of the story. Throughout the whole game, you will meet whole Pinhead's gash, like all the four basic famous Cenobites, and the player interactions with them will be kind of what it's already set in the lore of the franchise. Like they're angels to some, demons to others, right? And they're not like your other human enemies that you can just deal with. Like to them, you're always like a prey or a toy, and you'll have to find a ways how to navigate between them and their own agendas.
I mean, my view is that Cenobites, for example, they are not specific enemy type at all. They have different roles in the game, all of the Pinhead and his gash. So, I mean, for me, it's more up to you to play the game and see yourself. But yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
You guys go for the entirely original concept in terms of the story. Considering that there's a lot of Hellraiser to dig into, was there any temptation to maybe retell one of the older stories within a video game?
Well, we knew from the start that we want to tell a new story in the Hellraiser universe. It kind of gives you more freedom to be creative with it, and we did have Clive with us from the start of the project. So, like his insight and input and feedback and everything was crucial for us to make the original story, but still set in the world and the canon.
Absolutely insane. Clive Barker has been with Saber Interactive the entire way through of the production of this game. I don't think people understand how monumental that is. Having the creator of the Hellraiser franchise from many years ago reprise his role basically as a director, as a producer, as a writer, and give input and insight and give Saber Interactive their blessing and say that the final product is fucking banging, because he did mention that in another interview, that the final project he is absolutely ecstatic about. And I cannot wait, dude. This is so good, guys. So good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything new to add. It's just like we kept a lot of original elements from the movies, but we felt like new original story makes sense. And Clive Barker worked with us on that, and he was very happy about it. He was even saying like, "This is Hellraiser," so we were happy about it. Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
That's sort of news you can
Fuck
get,
yeah,
I guess,
it is. You damn right.
Going from the sort of like extreme gore, it is a franchise known for that, but how do you make sure that it's not just gores for gore's sake, if that makes sense? How do you make sure it's not just overloading the player with like blood and guts and it actually means something in the story?
Yeah, I would say that we specifically, we were talking with our narrative team a lot about that and making sure that everything you see there, every gore scene, violence, unpleasant sexuality, it makes sense with the story and it's connected to the franchise and how they portray it as well. So yeah.
It's part of the world building and lore as well.
Wow.
So you guys have this cult as well. Now, as I say, I'm not fully experienced in the Hellraiser franchise. I don't know if this is something else that's entirely new, but could you talk to me a bit about the role that they're going to play and how they're going to sort of face as maybe our main enemy type?
They are one enemy type. Yeah, more about it later. But yeah, so the funny thing about the cult is its original thing, and they're the cult that worships the Cenobites. But they don't really understand Cenobites that well. So throughout the game, you'll kind of learn that you'll kind of know more than them, and it kind of puts you in different perspective, in different position. But they're one of the primary enemies in the game.
Okay, so we have the
we
cult.
also have creatures from the Labyrinth, so to say, that you can see in announcement trailer as well. You're going to have some boss type enemies, but again, more is going to be revealed when the players get their hands on the game. Yeah.
How difficult is that sort of melee combat then? Because I imagine while there's the extreme difficulty of like the Cenobites are impossible to overcome, at least from what I've played, in terms of if you run into them and try and like punch your way out, you're done. You're done. But how do you balance that in terms of making sure that everything else feels intimidating, but because this also blends that horror and action element together, how do you let the player feel like they're not just completely hopeless all the time?
So players will ramp up in power over the game. Like you'll get better weapons, you will upgrade weapons, you will modify them, you'll learn new abilities with the configuration, how to use them, and player will get that power fantasy. But enemies will also progress through the game, and over time, like they'll get powerful, they'll learn more new tricks and new weapons, and you'll just have to adapt. And that's the part of the survival that we have. Like not every weapon is best for every situation, so you'll have to learn like which tool is best for the job.
Okay, so real quick, I wanted to touch base. Obviously, we did discuss already that they did mention that there is no type of skill tree inside of Hellraiser's campaign. However, with just what he said, that the configuration box does allow us to make upgrades, my assumption is there has to be some form of path. There's no way it's just upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but maybe it is a linear style upgrade process. However, again, also mentioning that certain weapons and certain upgrades and obviously inventory management and crafting, etc., will play a huge part in this game. So technically, we can cook up some builds. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue.
I just wanted to add that you're going to go back to the Labyrinth in a couple of occasions. So those are the moments where you, where we wanted players to feel again horror, terrified, and everything. So we keep horror atmosphere during those Labyrinth sections. Yeah. So yeah.
And do you do much with the sort of established lore and things like that? As you say, this is a lot of opportunities to be creative. How far were you willing to sort of stretch the creative boundaries of what you know as Hellraiser?
Well, not that far. We wanted to stay true to the lore. The creativity comes from like enemy types and stuff like that, more all about game design. Yeah. But like we have set rules of the lore and the franchise, and like we wanted to stick with those.
I mentioned at the beginning that we wanted to have this meaningful message. It is within the Hellraiser universe and it's about these voids and desires, but we put our touch in the story as well, so I think that was pretty awesome for us to do.
What can you tell me about the game's protagonist? Because I'm just very interested in him as a character and how his sort of journey is going to evolve.
Okay, more from the narrative side. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, Aiden is one of those characters, like in the Hellraiser universe, who has this inner void and he needs to fulfill it in a way. So playing with this box, with his girlfriend Sunny, he faces this challenge and push the boundaries of his limits and desires and everything. So yeah. I mean, yeah, more to say again, sorry.
And
she's so sweet.
Susan Alexandra, when can we see more, and what can we see sort of Hellraiser on?
So, when it's ready.
Okay, stay tuned.
Announced,
yes, not yet.
But PC, PS5?
Yes, so it's going to be on Xbox Series XS, it will be on PlayStation 5, and PC via Steam.
Perfect, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, again, confirmation, as we already knew from the trailers, that we have official PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, or X and S, and then PC via Steam. I believe that's the first confirmation that Epic Games seems to be out, even though Saber and Epic Games have worked in the past. Like with Evil Dead, Epic Games acquired Evil Dead later after launch. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. But, ladies and gentlemen, she's so damn sweet. She's like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I can't reveal any more information. That's great. Aiden sounds like a very interesting character, obviously with his girlfriend too. What really, really surprised me is there was another antagonist, right? With the cult is what they're calling them. And the cult that praises and worships the Cenobites is very interesting to me how that's all going to play out. And it really does make me feel like the story of the Hellraiser campaign is going to be so much more in depth. How are they going to satisfy us as Hellraiser geeks from the 80s with a new story added on 20 years after the original, but still staying true to the lore? Does that make sense? Guys, they got a lot of work cut out for them, but if we're gonna be honest here, Saber has always cooked when it comes to single player titles, when it comes to horror IPs in general. They created arguably the greatest asymmetrical horror game ever in Evil Dead. Unfortunately, their live service isn't the best, but that was a whole mess with Embracer Group. So maybe that was what caused it. As long as they're cooking up single player titles on horror IPs, just keep giving them to Saber. Because as you guys know, they just recently completed and released A Quiet Place, which was fucking fantastic. Obviously Hellraiser right now, and the studio is also working on Jurassic Park Survival, which we've also covered on this channel. Anyways, guys, I'm super amped. I'm super stoked. Let me know down in the comments section. What do you guys think, man? Are you guys amped for Hellraiser Revival? Are you amped for the lore, continuation 20 years later and the introduction of the cult? I'm super stoked. Let me know down in the comments. Drop a like, drop a sub. Don't forget, turn on your noties, goddammit. That way you guys get notified every time I go live here on YouTube and anytime that I bring you brand new Hellraiser news. I fucking love you guys. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.